Welcome to this week's Parking Network News. ADR Mobility, part of the ADR Group, which is the managing company of the Rome airport system, has signed a new partnership with ParkCloud that will allow passengers to book a parking space directly from participating airports. The ADR Group manages more than 11,000 parking spaces across the two airports in Rome, Leonardo da Vinci and Giovan Battista Pastene. Two Hectronic models are currently competing for the attention of car park users in Warsaw. In other words, it's Citea versus CiteaMax, or cash versus card. The pilot phase will continue until the end of the year and will be followed by an evaluation process to determine which terminal and therefore which mode of payment is the most popular. Speaking of cash versus cashless, CPI wrote a very well-received article about this topic from a slightly different point of view. Is cash more expensive to manage than cashless? Looking at, for instance, credit transaction costs, processing fees and settlement fees, this might not be the case. Also, the operator's bank, the credit and debit account issuer, the network association brands and the communications gateway handling secure connections all take a bite out of the operator's revenue. A word from the authors at CPI to operators out there: next time you want to enthusiastically say that cash is more expensive to manage than cashless, think again. Go to parking-net.com to read the full article. As Service Tracking Systems, or STS, recently celebrated its 20-year landmark, it continues to stay focused on adding more diverse and advanced applications to its product line. We have Kai Chouette, CEO of Service Tracking Systems, on the phone. Hi Kai, how are you?
I'm doing terrific. How about yourself, Tom?
I'm doing really well, thank you. Congratulations on the 20-year anniversary for STS. What can you tell us about the very beginning?
So I actually started as a valet operator, and that was in the mid-'80s. And it was about 10 years later, right about the time I was running 70 locations, I had about 200 employees at the time, that I decided there had to be a better way, than managing hundreds of thousands of dollars in inventory with just a pencil and a cigar box, which was the traditional high-tech approach to valet parking back then, as you know. So this was the mid-'90s, and right about the same time, a high-end shopping mall in Troy, Michigan, called the Somerset Collection, which I managed the valet parking for, commissioned me to dream up sort of the next big thing in valet parking. So anyway, I accepted the challenge, hired a developer, and created the first computerized valet parking system. And that was our name early on, CVPS, which is an acronym for Computerized Valet Parking System. So it was kind of the, mid-'90s was kind of the perfect storm, right? The technology was becoming accessible and available. This was one of those businesses and services that had long been, overlooked. So, and I needed it too, aside from the client needing something, I really needed something to defend my operation from the endless assaults of the Neiman Marcuses and Saks Fifth Avenues, when we knew it took 5 minutes and not 15 to retrieve their vehicle, or that the ding on their car was already there upon arrival, So we needed evidence, right? We needed something more than just he said, she said. So that didn't work anymore. So we created the first computerized valet parking system. We used barcoded tickets, desktop computers, like really big ones. I mean, think 1990s, right? It looked odd. I'd be the first one to admit, because, by the time you put a printer, a barcode scanner, a receipt printer, a big screen and a big computer in there, the poor valets, those booths weren't large to begin with. So, they got even more cramped. But, this is how we went from an operator to the technology division, which is really who we are today.
Okay, and what would you say makes STS unique in this industry?
It's really our intimate knowledge of the parking industry. We come from parking and understand not only parking, but more importantly, service. And I really believe that's what makes us stand out. We enjoy a great reputation in the industry because we understand that technology can take you only so far, right? It's people that really take you the distance. We've got an amazing team, of really smart and fun people. And I don't see this kind of passion and commitment coming from others in this industry, which makes it relatively easy for us to stand out. So I would say it's our knowledge and our understanding of service.
Okay, so looking at STS developments, what do you foresee for the near future?
There's an increasing demand for elevated customer experiences, and that seems to be challenging in the industry right now to sort of collaborate on seamless solutions, bundle a handful of adjacent services into a kind of a frictionless single user interface for the customer. So stitching together cutting edge technologies in effort to evoke that goosebump wow effect has become today's tech du jour, if you will. And I think that's going to continue for some time to come. There's also lots of opportunities in the self-driving vehicle arena. How will the role of the valet change, and what happens to all those extra parking spaces that will no longer be needed? But overall, we have no intention of falling behind. We're super excited about the unlimited possibilities of the exponential technologies, right? The IoT, the sensors, the data analytics. And we look forward to really, helping our smart clients navigate that playground, because they're overwhelmed too. There's so much coming at us today. So it's not a matter of can it be done, but how should it be done, and then what do you use to do it? One of the products we anticipate bringing to market before the end of this year is called STSQ. It's a platform essentially designed for any service, right? So think real-time beacons, GPS, animated movement, alerts, and a visually pleasing interface. So that's kind of what we're after right now. And so we've got about 25 different products now that we maintain in our GitHub repository. So we've grown into more of a suite solutions provider.
Thank you so much, Kai. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, Tom. Take care.
That's it for this week's Parking Network news. Next week we'll be back with more news from the parking industry. Be sure to visit our website and follow our social media channels to stay up to date with the latest developments. I'm Tom Bissett, thanks for watching.